Tracy from Sincere IVF. I have been working in the IVF industry for 37 years.
My name is Lynn. I am the Senior Lab Manager and the Senior Embryologist at Sincere IVF Center.
The IVF work involves the following procedure. From first is the egg collections, then followed by egg denewing and sperm processing. After that, followed by sperm injection, we call it C. Follow again is a culture of embryo. By culturing of embryo, then we see the following day is a cleavage of embryo. From the cleavage of embryo, then we start to freeze the embryo. Freezing the embryo will be finally storage in the LN2 tank for permanent storage.
Our laboratory uses this technique known as IMC, which is intracytoplasmic morphologically sperm-selected injection. This technique is the selection of sperm under high magnification before we inject a single sperm using a fine glass needle into a mature egg. Another technique that we are also using, we are actually using a special sperm separation device known as zymote. The zymote has been shown to separate sperm with near zero DNA fragmentations, and it also has a lower incidence of oxidative stress when being compared to the usual sperm preparation method. So these are the techniques that we use to help increase the chance of fertilization of eggs. There are several measures that we can employ to ensure the quality and the viability of the embryos. So the first one is actually the selection of the culture medium. The second thing that is also very important is a controlled environment. The third point will be quality control. In Sincere, our laboratory actually incorporate two different things: morphological assessment and time-lapse imaging to help with the selection of the best quality embryo. The different laboratory uses actually different grading system, but in Sincere, we are actually using the Gardner system, where the quality and the quantity of the embryos are graded using alphabetical grading, which is A to C. So with A being the best and C being the worst. Time-lapse imaging is the capturing of images of developing embryos regular interval. This technology allows the embryologist to assess the dynamic parameter of the timing of the cell division, the embryo kinetics, and also looking at the blastocyst formation. So some of the challenges or complications that we hope not to meet have is actually fertilization failure. Some of the eggs or fertilization may fail, resulting in no suitable embryo or no viable embryo for transfer. The second challenge that we may meet is actually limited embryo development. What I mean by limited, it means some very slow growing embryos or even embryos that stop growing in the middle. And lastly, the most challenge will be sample mix-up. Many people are very concerned about sample mix-up. There are actually many strict protocols in place to prevent sample mix-up. A few of them are like the processing of one sample at each time. Secondly, the laboratory actually has a very dedicated workspace. This ensures that the samples are kept isolated from each other, and this reduces the chance of accidental mix-up. Next, we have a strict identification system for labeling and identifying of samples throughout the whole entire IVF process. And of course, we have the double checking and verification at critical steps of IVF process. There are some other that we can also implement as well. One of it will be like electronic data management. This will reduce reliance on manual record keeping, and it will also minimize the risk of error with paperwork.
Clinical embryologist is defined as a subspecialist in a medical practice. Now, according to what MOH here regulation in Singapore, every embryologist under training have to perform at least 50 egg collection and 50 embryo transfer, 50 frozen cycle, and 50 thawing procedure. So, in able to get this number, under the chief embryologist, they will apply to the Ministry of Health embryologist license.